even a threat of them. The Sudanese government is resisting pressure to allow a UN force which might save lives. But tonight we have evidence that the Janjaweed militia, which is carrying out what the Americans have called a genocide, is trained, armed and supported by that government. Tim Huell reports.
They're a force accused by the United States of participating in genocide. They've killed tens of thousands in Darfur and destroyed hundreds of villages. But no member of Sudan's Arab militia, the Janjaweed, has ever spoken publicly of their operations until now.
Whenever we go into a village and there is any resistance, then we kill everyone there. Sometimes they say, wipe out the entire village.
This young man in his early 20s, now seeking asylum in Britain, says he's a defector from the Janjaweed. For 2 years he served in the militia in northern Darfur, west of the town of Khartoum, until late last year he left, disgusted, he says, by the violence. To protect him, we can't give his real name, but other Darfuri exiles in Britain and a psychologist who studied his interview believe his story is genuine. And what Ali, as we'll call him, makes clear is that the Janjaweed is a force organised and armed by the Sudanese government, despite all his country's official denials. He says he was trained in the main Janjaweed base at Mysteria. Who were the people that recruited you and trained you?
The people who trained us came from the north, from the government. They gave us orders, and they say that after we are trained, they will give us guns and ammunition. We will be split into 2 groups, one on horses, one on camels.
How did you know these people were from the government?
They were wearing the uniforms of the military.
The government began to recruit the Janjaweed from among the local Arab tribes to fight black African rebels who wanted more independence for Darfur. That was in early 2003. Ali was a shepherd whose village had been attacked by the rebels. In return for a camel, he was happy to sign up. Sometimes the Janjaweed fought rebels. Often they shot civilians. Sometimes, he says, under orders to kill the blacks. He was involved in more than 50 attacks on villages. One he remembers particularly is Janga. As often happened, it was bombed first by the Sudanese Air Force using helicopters and a plane. What happened in Janga?
The aircraft went ahead of the Janjaweed. We saw the smoke, we saw the fire, then we went in.
Who were you killing?
There are many Janjaweed. You can't say that one killed that particular person.
But I'm asking you from your memory, who did you kill in that village?
It's impossible to say who I killed. We hear kill, 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 and we shoot to kill.
Were all the people you were fighting resistance, or were some of the people you killed there civilians?
The majority of them were civilians. Most of them women.
What is your worst memory? What do you feel most bad about?
The villages, innocent people running out and being killed, including children and women. And those who escape will die of thirst before they get to the next town.
Ali, who has a wife and a child, denies killing women or children himself or committing rape, but he admits others in his unit did.
Yes, there are many rapes, but they don't do it in front of others. They take the victim away and rape her.
Currently, the only protection for civilians in Darfur are 7,000 peacekeepers from the African Union, but their commander complained again today that they don't have the money or the equipment they need.
We will rely on the international community to provide the resources. And if these resources are not provided, there is no magic wand for us to do the job.
But Ali's evidence about airstrikes suggests there may be a fairly simple way outside powers could help save lives in Darfur.
It's clear that the government of Sudan have been supporting the Janjaweed with their air force, and one practical step that can be taken, and Aegis Trust has been calling for this for some time now, is that a no-fly zone can be first of all monitored and then enforced.
By some estimates, more than 1,000 villages have been destroyed in the Darfur conflict, more than 200,000 people have died, and more than 2 million are refugees. Ali's testimony has now been passed to the International Criminal Court. It's investigating war crimes in Darfur, and particularly the role of senior Sudanese officials.
I tell you one fact. The Janjaweed don't make decisions. The orders always come from the government.
Who were the commanders that you know from the government who were ordering your forces?
One very well-known and regular visitor was the Interior Minister, Abdulrahim Mohammed Hussein.
Sudan now says it'll disarm the Janjaweed, but it hasn't explained how. In the meantime, the conflict in Darfur is intensifying. Yesterday, Britain's Development Secretary Hilary Benn was there to see the suffering. He called on Sudan to accept UN peacekeepers, but the government's refused again and again, and there's not much sign it'll change its mind now.